So you've decided that self-taught is the way to go. Not a bad decision. This video is for you. So I don't know if this is common knowledge here on this channel, but I'm a self-taught drummer. Never went to school, never studied with anybody. Basement university my entire life. There's a lot of musicians that chose to go this way for whatever reasons. And you might be in the beginning stages of your instrument and decided you want to do the same thing. That's totally cool. Now for myself, having played now almost 35 years, I can tell you that there's some things, some key things that I've learned along my trip, because I sort of remember my trajectory while I was learning, and I know the places where I slowed down and the places where things really took off. So this video, I'm gonna give you 5 tips, key tips that will help you accelerate your progress while you're learning on your own. Now these are in no particular order of importance, because as far as I'm concerned, they're all number 1, but I'm gonna start with this one. Tip number 1, get yourself a good practice pad. Now if you're 2-3 years into it and you don't have a practice pad yet, smack yourself, then go get one. Now I'm gonna tell you straight up, your practice pad, this right here is gonna be the most important tool that you have in your house. As a matter of fact, get 3 of them. Get 5 of them and leave them all over the house. There are millions out there to choose from. You really don't have to get fancy with these. It's just a slab of rubber on a slab of wood. That's really all you need. So yeah, that's the first tip. If you don't already have one, get yourself a practice pad. Tip number 2, play along to music as often as possible. All right, especially if you're still within your first 3 years of playing. Playing along to music has always been one of the most valuable ways of developing your skills on the instrument. Number 1. Number 2, it's going to prepare you for when you finally get in the room with other musicians and start playing with them. Number 3, it's going to help you to develop your ear, which is going to be super important later on when you start playing with bands. But yeah, for my first 3 years, that's all I did. All I did was throw on all my favorite albums and play them front to back, 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. I would just roll through album after album. Now this is also something that's gonna keep your interest in practicing on level 10. Playing the records is fun, all right? Even in the beginning stages, it's probably not even gonna sound good. Matter of fact, it's probably gonna suck, but that's okay. One of the coolest things about the drums is that yes, it requires a lot of skill to play them, but you don't need a lot of skill to have fun on them. So just jump on them, make some noise, man. Just swing the sticks around, and then later on, you can really start to dive in, get into the basics, start learning all of the individual skills that you need to learn. But until then, you'll be surprised at the things that are gonna develop while you're playing along the records. So yeah, whether it's your favorite songs or whether you just download a bunch of drumless tracks off the internet, either way, but playing along the music, that's something that you gotta be doing. Tip number 3, make developing your hands a primary focus. Remember off the top, I told you about getting a practice pad? This is one of the main reasons. One of the most important things that you will ever do for as long as you play the drums is develop your hands. Devote as much spare time as you possibly can into working with a practice pad. I can't even begin to tell you how much this will affect how you sound on that instrument. I don't care how long you've been playing. If you've been playing 10 years, 15 years, you jump on that instrument and you still suck, I can guarantee you the reason why is because you did not invest the time in developing your hands. So keep one of these everywhere. Keep one in front of the couch, keep one under the bed, take one to the cottage, take one to church, pull it out when the sermon's boring. But the more time that you invest in the practice pad, the better you're gonna sound on this thing, and the faster you're gonna start to improve. Tip number 4 for accelerating your progress: record yourself while you're practicing. Now this could be audio, or it could be audio and video. There's benefits to both. I mean, if you're gonna record yourself on video, it's a really good way to take a look at what needs improving. You know, there might be something in your posture that needs changing, or you might want to change a little something on your setup to make it a little more efficient, you know, while you're playing. Now, it's also a really good way to keep track of your progress. You know, you can record yourself in January, and then, you know, again in June, and then again in September, and then watch all of them back to back and notice all your improvements. Now, if you're recording just the audio, there's a lot of benefits to that as well. You know, you can get yourself a nice affordable set of mics. If you're able to set yourself up with a little digital workstation, like a light version of Cubase or Logic or whatever is available out there, recording yourself to a click can be super important. That can be one thing that'll sharpen up your studio chops if that's, you know, where you're headed. Another option for you though, like if you don't want to deal with the mic thing, you can get the Yamaha EAD10. I don't know if you've seen this unit, but this is really cool. It's a micless setup. You just take this little unit, stick it on your bass drum, and it picks up everything you're doing. Now there's a video on my channel. It's a little older. It's around 2018, but it's when the EAD10 first came out. And I did a full review on it, so you can check out how it works, take a listen to the samples and stuff like that. But that is a really cool little practice tool because you can mic your kit without actually micing your kit. So I'll actually leave a link to that in my description box. I'll link you to the video, and then I'll actually link you to the EAD10 at SWEETWATER, because I'm a SWEETWATER affiliate. If you're interested in checking that thing out, go ahead and check it out. But recording yourself through either of those two mediums, video or audio, super valuable, and it'll help you to improve. Tip number 5, and this might actually be something that some instructors might disagree with me on, but I'm 100% for it. Practice whatever you want, whenever you want, for however long you want. If you're the type that works better with an actual schedule, that's fine. But I mean, don't worry about, you know, strict regiments with your practice and say, you know, I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes and I'm gonna do this for 20 minutes. Do whatever you want. The thing is, whenever you sit down to play, it should be fun. It shouldn't feel like a chore. It shouldn't feel like work. There's no real time limit to this. You know what I mean? There's no deadline that you got to worry about. And the thing is, for me, it always has to be fun. And it always was. I used to practice 4 or 5 hours at a time, no joke. And I did it because I loved it. So don't overthink your practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think that you got to do this for a certain amount of time and then move on to this thing for a certain amount of time. If you feel like working on doubles for 2 hours, then work on your doubles for 2 hours. If you feel like just playing the drums, you know, playing along the records for a couple hours, just do that day. This really all comes down to your enthusiasm. If you love this instrument that much, you're gonna wanna be on it all the time. The most important thing to remember when you're practicing is that as long as the time that you're investing on the instrument is doing something that you're not good at, you'll make progress. But yeah, the more enthusiastic you are about learning how to play the drums, the more time you're gonna spend playing it, the faster you're gonna improve. Now, the last important point that I cannot let you go without making is simply this, man. If you're gonna decide to teach yourself, that's totally cool. I did it my entire life. But here's the thing, you gotta get the information from somewhere. You can't physically teach yourself because you don't know anything yet. Now, I didn't study with anyone or go to school, but I did invest a ton of money in instructional videos. So if you don't wanna physically sit in front of another instructor, then you gotta find your source. You can download videos from Hudson Music. There's a lot of instructional videos on there. Plant yourself in front of YouTube. Check out a bunch of channels. Watch this one, because I got what you need. But there's a lot of other great channels out here that you can check out. Or you can join what is undoubtedly the biggest drum community on the planet right now, DRUMEO. If you haven't checked out DRUMEO yet, if you haven't become an Edge member, there's a lot of extra stuff, if you didn't know, in the Edge member sort of universe in there. Tons and tons of up close and personal instruction. If you want to become an Edge member and try it out for 30 days for free, there's a link in the description box. You can just click on that. That'll take you over to a landing page with my gorgeous face on it. Just click on that, 2 clicks, boom, you're in there. You can try it for 30 days for free. There is a ton of legendary drummers in there with some great lessons. But other than that, man, just enjoy the trip. Seriously, this thing is lifelong. You're never gonna run out of stuff to learn. So just have fun, man. Just make sure that you're having fun with it the entire time. So that's it. If you got anything that you want to add to the conversation, go ahead and drop a comment below. This is all one big community. We're all out here just trying to get better. So be nice in the comments. Do me a solid. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. There is the subscribe button. Make sure you mash that before you bounce. Share this video if you dig it. Like, subscribe. See you next video.